Ambassador, good morning. It's very good
Good
to
morning.
meet you. It's the first time we've had a chance to chat. You've just come back from the State of the Union speech, where there really appeared to be quite a change in tone from the President. What did you make of it?
I think it's kind of a natural evolution, you know, wrapping up the first year of office and moving on to the next year. It's an amazing first year, I think, by almost any standard, and in terms of accomplishment, with taxes and employment and just confidence coming back in a major way.
For many, though, they'll see it as one of the most divisive years in US politics, and it was writ large when you looked around the room for that speech. You couldn't have failed to notice that.
Right.
The divisions were really obvious, weren't they?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's maybe a little more this year. The relationship, the president's relationship with the media has been different than we've seen other presidents have. He uses his own.
Terrible, hasn't it?
Pardon?
It's been terrible.
I think, right. It's been terrible in one way, but I think he is getting the message out in his own unique way.
You were expecting him here next month to open the new embassy. Whatever he said on Twitter, it's because he was afraid of the protests, wasn't it?
I think the president, never set a date for coming here. I said we'd like to have the president here.
You were looking forward to it in December. You were very open about it.
Yeah, no, but I never said there was a date that was set, and so there wasn't a date that was set. And when when his schedule permits him to come over here and come over and have a meeting and whatever he feels is important, he'll do it.
Yeah, but he said on Twitter that he thought it was a bad deal selling the old embassy, that it was off location. Do you agree with him?
I know Grosvenor Square is a historic location. That's a great location. I was there. I was the last ambassador there, and I lowered the flag, much to the sadness of some of particularly the long-term local people that work at the embassy. However, the new embassy represents our future. It's an open, transparent building with all the modern electronics and security and all the things that are important for embassies going forward.
Not off location then. I mean, you said that it was the most advanced we'd ever built. You're talking of it in glowing terms there. I mean, as an ambassador, you're sort of forced to contradict your own president, aren't you?
Not really, no. I mean, I think he and I share the feeling of Grosvenor Square. Grosvenor Square is an historic. We have Reagan and Eisenhower and World War II and all that history. But now we have to write a new chapter.
But he wasn't prepared to come to see that new chapter being written.
He wasn't prepared then, but he hasn't said he's not gonna see the new embassy and open the new embassy.
The truth is, though, that he knew that they would protest, and that must be something that you advise him on. It must be the protest that ultimately, the spectre of those protests that must have been.
I will assure you of one thing that I'm very clear on. This president is not worried about protests in the U.S., here, or really anywhere. I mean, he's very, very certain of where he wants to take the country, and he's more than happy to deal with different views and express his own view.
And you don't mind if he sometimes puts you in a rather embarrassing position?
I'm not embarrassed, no, because he has his own unique view. And having known Donald Trump for 35 years, I know I've got a pretty good idea where he wants to go. And I think what the British people should look for is actually what he's accomplished and where he wants to go, and how when he had his hand on the Bible, his family Bible, and he made that pledge to the American people. He really made it to all people, and that is security and prosperity. And that's what he wants me to do, and that's what he's committed to doing.
But you know, of course, that a lot of people in Britain will not see that side, not least because he was prepared to retweet messages from a far-right group here in Britain. I mean, you were just about to do an online Q&A with the British public to introduce yourself as ambassador when he retweeted those. I mean, what went through your mind when you saw that he'd done that?
I mean, I don't think he did enough research on that group, and he's admitted that, and maybe it was a mistake, probably a mistake. I think he's admitted that. Those things happen. You have to realize that this president and every president is speaking how many hours a day? 5 hours a day before the press, and a lot. And tweeting, and he's basically, that's why I say I think it's very important to take a longer view. And just look if you take a look at what he's accomplished in 1 year, it's unprecedented. 3% growth, the market is up almost $9 trillion, and that all goes into the pockets of women and children, pension funds, retirement accounts and all that. So it's a huge thing. It's never been done before.
But how do you operate as an ambassador when you have got no idea what your president is going to tweet when he gets up in the morning? I mean, the special relationship stands or falls with how he might feel when he gets out of bed, or if he's still tweeting from his bed.
I think he was elected president because he expresses himself differently and probably in a more direct way to his base. And so his base understands where he's going, and having known him for all these years, I understand where he's trying to take the country, and it's in a good place. He wants opportunity for everybody.
But what about those who look at your president and see a misogynist, somebody who stokes racial hatred? London's own mayor said when the president declined to come to the opening of the embassy that he thought President Trump had got the message. What do you say to those people?
They really don't understand what they're talking about. I mean, they're trying to maybe score political points or whatever, but I know the president, and I know that that's not true. I know that in his own organization, I live in one of his buildings, and you know, those women that run his real estate empire are very, very loyal and devoted to him, and some of them have been there. The woman that's running my building has been there 30 years. I mean, she's not going to live in an environment like that these people are talking about. He's taken the country in a new and important direction, and I think he's going to be extremely successful. Already has been. He's
flagged, and Downing Street has acknowledged that we can expect a visit from President Trump, and possibly two this year. Can you enlighten us on those visits? A state visit, working visits, what is your understanding at this point?
My understanding is the state visit has been sent, the invitation has been sent, and the invitation has been accepted, but no date's been set. In terms of the other visit, there's been discussion, but no date.
But no date.
So no date yet. No.
Yet. Okay.
No,
so
you'll be the first to know.
You will be the first to know, thank you. But we know, of course, that as soon as the president talked about that in Davos last week, online people are saying, right, this is the moment to protest the president, the coalition against Trump. Would there then ever be a point where you would advise your president, this is going to look terrible for you, Mr. President, if tens of thousands and larger are out on the streets?
I think the president is more than capable of handling any kind of discord. Once again, I think the president values this special relationship that he has with this country. His mother is Scottish. He feels an affinity. He knows the importance that the British people play in our shared security and our shared prosperity. We have a gigantic relationship, both in investment, and trade, and jobs. And he values that, and he knows how important it is, and he wants to make it better.
But could you ever have imagined a point at which the special relationship might be defined in an image where tens of thousands and more could be out on the streets of the UK to protest the US president being here? Could you ever imagine that the special relationship would be in such a condition?
You know, the great thing about both of our countries is the ability to express ourselves and express our differences of opinion, even if those differences have been promoted by a press or by maybe unreliable or untrue facts. And the president values that. He knows the advantages of free speech, and that's part of our culture and part of our Constitution. And he's fully prepared to deal with it. I mean, as he said, I think he looks down the road. He knows this relationship is very important. He knows we can't have a free world without these alliances. And this relationship is the strongest and oldest and most important that we have.
And yet he'll fall into a Twitter spat with the Prime Minister herself at the drop of a hat.
I think he has a very good relationship with the Prime Minister. They had a good discussion in Davos. They've had phone conversations, and so I think That's all good. And you know, sure, there's going to be bumps in the road. I mean, this country's going through bumps with Brexit, and that's going to be challenging. But I think the president's belief in the special relationship is enduring, solid as a rock, and you know, it's going to bring on good things for this country.
But Ambassador, I mean, when you see a moment like that happen on Twitter, when the president fires back at the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom on Twitter, you must just want to bang your head on the desk, don't you?
You know, that's, the president is trying to, his ultimate goal is to strengthen the relationship. However he handles himself I mean, this is a unique president in a unique time. He's not a career politician that's following all the same precedents. That doesn't mean he's not getting something, that he's not going to accomplish amazing things. The American people are unique. We can turn on a dime. And you can just see how fast it happens. And that's the beauty of the American experience, really, is how, you know, with one vote, the country can change. And you can just see the outcome. After only 1 year, look at what's happening. I mean, there's consumer confidence, 17-year high. That says a lot. People feel their lives are getting better. And our goal, and my goal, has always been leave it better than you found it. Have prosperity for our kids. You met the two boys. Make sure that their life is better than our life. And the president's committed to that.
We know that there are fundraisers already going on for a second term. Do you believe we'll have a two-term presidency from President Trump?
I think that if the president decides to run, he'll win.
Do you think he will decide to run?
I think he'll decide to run.
So you think we're looking at a two-term presidency?
Yes.
President Trump?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And how might he prove his critics wrong in the end?
How much?
How might he prove his critics wrong in the end? And just as a little, I'm going to slip in one more. Firstly, could it fall over Russia, this presidency?
No. And yes, I'm proving his critics wrong, because his critics will be long forgotten when this period of growth and this period of prosperity and hopefully safety. Safety is number one. Security is number one, because you can't really have a job if you're worried about all this. So I think when he accomplishes that, and we have 3% growth, even more, even perhaps 4%, which doesn't sound like a lot, but in economic terms, it's gigantic. And people feel good about their lives, and they feel confident, and they feel proud. They feel proud. That's going to resonate through the rest of the world. Not only in the U.S., but it'll resonate here and the free world. And it will make our enemies a little bit more reticent to attack us.